Hey there, Peter here. This is Fuel for Fathers, and today we're covering why you crash every afternoon around 3 p.m. That afternoon slump isn't random, and it's not because you're getting old or lazy. Your circadian rhythm hits a natural dip between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. every single day, and what you ate for lunch 2 hours earlier just made it 10 times worse. So here's the situation. You're on site. You've been going hard since 6 a.m. You had a solid lunch around midday, meat pie, sandwich, maybe a burger. Then around 2:30 or 3 p.m., it's like someone pulled the plug. Your brain goes foggy, your body feels heavy, and all you can think about is another coffee or just getting through to knock-off time. Most blokes think this means they didn't sleep enough the night before, or they're not fit enough, or they're just getting older. But here's what's actually happening in your body. First, your circadian rhythm. This is your body's internal clock, and it runs on a roughly 24-hour cycle. It controls when you feel alert and when you feel tired. Now, most people know about the big dip at night when you're meant to sleep, but there's a smaller dip that happens in the early afternoon, usually between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. This happens to everyone every single day. It's biological, not behavioral. In traditional societies, this is why siestas exist. Your body is literally programmed to have a rest period in the early afternoon. Even if you slept 10 hours the night before, you'd still feel this dip. It's not about how much sleep you got, it's about where you are in your daily rhythm. But here's where it gets worse. What you ate for lunch plays a massive role in how hard that dip hits you. And when you eat a big meal, especially one loaded with carbs and simple sugars, your blood glucose spikes. White bread, chips, soft drink, pastries, all that stuff sends your blood sugar up fast. Your body responds by releasing insulin to bring that glucose down. But insulin doesn't just lower your blood sugar, it also triggers a chain reaction that makes you sleepy. Specifically, insulin helps an amino acid called tryptophan cross into your brain. Tryptophan then converts into serotonin, and serotonin makes you feel calm and drowsy. So that big lunch isn't giving you energy to power through the afternoon. It's actually working against you. Now, combine that post-lunch insulin response with your circadian dip at 3 p.m., and you've got a perfect storm of exhaustion. Your body's natural rhythm is telling you to slow down, and your blood chemistry from lunch is amplifying that signal. There's also another factor. If you've been running on coffee all morning, by mid-afternoon, your body's building up something called adenosine. Adenosine is a chemical that accumulates in your brain the longer you're awake. It's what makes you feel tired. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors, basically stopping you from feeling that tiredness. But the adenosine is still building up in the background. When the caffeine wears off, all that built-up adenosine hits you at once. That's why your 2 p.m. coffee crash feels so brutal. So you've got three things happening at the same time. Your circadian rhythm is dipping, your insulin is spiking from lunch, and your adenosine is breaking through your caffeine blockade. No wonder you feel like you've hit a wall. Most blokes think this means they need to push harder, drink more coffee, or just power through with willpower. But that's not the answer. This isn't about toughness or discipline. It's about understanding what's driving the crash so you can work with your biology instead of fighting it. Here's the thing. You can't stop your circadian dip. That's hardwired. But you can control how much your lunch amplifies it, and you can time your caffeine better. So what can you actually do about it? Two simple changes. First, rethink your lunch. Instead of loading up on carbs and sugars, go for a lunch that's protein-focused with some healthy fats. Think grilled chicken, steak, tuna, eggs with vegetables, and maybe a small serve of complex carbs like brown rice or sweet potato. Protein and fats take longer to digest, so they don't spike your insulin the same way. You'll still feel satisfied, but you won't get that massive blood sugar crash an hour later. If you're grabbing lunch from a servo or a shop, look for options that aren't just bread and sugar. A chicken salad, a protein box, even a couple of hard-boiled eggs and some nuts. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to keep your blood sugar stable. Second, time your caffeine strategically. If you know you're going to hit a wall at 3 p.m., don't wait until you're already crashing to have another coffee. Have a smaller coffee or tea around 1:30 or 2 p.m. before the dip hits. That way, the caffeine is already in your system when your circadian rhythm starts to drop, and keep it moderate. You're not trying to blast yourself with caffeine. You're just maintaining steady levels through the afternoon. If you've already had 2 or 3 coffees by midday, consider switching to green tea or just water in the afternoon. More caffeine isn't always the answer, especially if you want to sleep properly that night. And the other thing you can do is lean into the dip if your work allows it. If you've got a 15-minute break around 3 p.m., use it. Sit down, close your eyes for 10 minutes, let your body have that rest it's asking for. You'll come out of it sharper than if you'd tried to fight through it. I know not every job allows for that, but if yours does, don't feel guilty about it. It's physiology, not laziness. Bottom line, that 3 p.m. crash is a combination of your circadian rhythm, what you ate for lunch, and how you've been using caffeine throughout the day. It's not a sign that you're weak or unfit or getting old. It's your body doing exactly what it's designed to do. You can't eliminate it completely, but you can definitely reduce how hard it hits. Protein-focused lunch, strategic caffeine timing, and if possible, a short break when your body needs it. Small changes, big difference. You're not broken. This is just how human biology works when you've been awake and working hard for 8 or 9 hours straight. Thanks to Father Fuel for sponsoring us, giving fathers energy when it matters most.